Hi, my name is Jason.
And I'm Kaylin.
Welcome to What's Your Problem, where we discuss current issues in distance learning and education. Just 2.5 short years ago, this little program called What's Your Problem graced your screens for the first time. Since then, our premiere episode, Cheating in Distance Learning Courses, has crossed over the 1,000 views mark, signaling to us, 1, people are enjoying the show, 2, people are seeking out our previous topics continuously, and 3, wearable technology has come a long way. With this knowledge in mind, we decided to commemorate our most popular episode by providing an update on where things currently sit with cheating in distance learning courses today. For more on this, we go to Adam.
Thanks, Jason. There was a reason that we tackled the issue of cheating in our very first episode. We knew that it was and remains one of the biggest issues surrounding not only online learning, but formal education in general. That's why, in retrospect, it's no surprise that the very first episode of this show has garnered the attention that it has, including invitations to share our insights on the subject as part of webinars, national conference sessions, and, as Jason mentioned, with a growing online audience. And while we'd love to increase our channel views by having you rewatch that original episode before diving into this one, I'll just recap it for you here for the sake of brevity. The first solutions we presented to the problem of cheating in distance learning courses were as follows. Develop authentic assessments that require unique answers from students. Be thoughtful and deliberate when designing questions and settings for quizzes and exams, and create relationships with your students that motivate them to succeed. However, we also mentioned in that episode that cheating has been an issue in classrooms since classrooms were a thing, and that for every new roadblock that we put up, cheaters find a way to get around it. To that end, a lot has changed over the last 3 years, so today, Jason and Kaylin will provide you with 3 more ways to prevent cheating in your online courses. Take it away, gang.
While authentic assignments are one of the best assessment methods to ensure student integrity stays intact, there may be some holes where students think they can cheat the system. In our episode from Season 1, Adam mentioned the use of a tool in Blackboard called SafeAssign. SafeAssign can help educate students on and deter students from plagiarizing, as well as help instructors better detect plagiarism that may be occurring in their class. SafeAssign is used in conjunction with an assignment in Blackboard. A student submits their paper and SafeAssign sends it through several database checks. A report is created and shows up in Blackboard for the student and instructor to review. Please note that instructors must check the box in assignment settings for students to be able to view the originality report. By default, students cannot view the end report. To activate SafeAssign, head to the Edit settings for an assignment and scroll down to Submission Details. Here you can choose whether it will be an individual student submission or if students are submitting the assignment as group work. Choose the number of attempts to submit the assignment, and if multiple attempts, choose how attempts will be graded. Then, make sure the first box under Plagiarism Tools is checked regarding check submissions for plagiarism using SafeAssign. If you wish for students to view their originality reports after submission, you can check the second checkbox. And that's all there is to it. SafeAssign is an educational tool in that students can better learn what qualifies as plagiarism by reading through their reports, which, if students are given at least 2 attempts to submit an assignment, they are given an opportunity to repair and learn from any possible plagiarism mistakes. Also, since students know their assignment will be read through SafeAssign, it may discourage the majority of students from plagiarizing another student's paper or buying one off the internet. Another excellent way to utilize this tool is when students are writing a term paper or essay and have multiple due dates for rough drafts. Students could submit their rough draft to SafeAssign and implement suggested changes before the final draft is complete. It's important to note that while SafeAssign can be a tool to combat plagiarism, it is not 100% foolproof and may consider a student's own word as plagiarized. Please exercise caution and do your own research as the instructor into whether a student really plagiarized before taking any serious action.
When the bailiff asked Miss Vito, "Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God," in the incomparable film My Cousin Vinny, she answered, "Yeah." Sure, being dishonest under oath has some legal consequences, but the tactic also is a psychological strategy to condition and remind witnesses to be honest in their testimony directly before giving it. In essence, it is harder to be deceptive immediately after swearing you'll be honest. The same principle can be applied to distance learning. Adding an ungraded preliminary question to a quiz or test where you'll be asking students to agree to an honor pledge before taking the test is one way to do this. Another similar option at the course level is installing an academic integrity button on the learning module page that students click to indicate their acknowledgement of the Schoolcraft College Academic Integrity Policy and Code of Conduct. This way, not only will students take an action to agree to an honor pledge, but the button will remain visible on top of the learning module page for the entire course as a constant reminder. These simple, non-invasive reminders can encourage more honest behavior by intrinsically reminding students not just the consequences of academic dishonesty, but the value and ethics of doing one's own work.
It's not a big secret that students turn to websites like Chegg or helpwithhomework.com when they need help solving problems, filling out a worksheet, or writing a paper. Now, you can't force students to not go to these sites, but you can let them know that you are aware of them and encourage them to avoid them by providing other resources for them outside of reading the textbook. These other resources may be informational or interesting to engage your students and dissuade them from going elsewhere for answers. If you haven't explored them, we recommend you go on and research these sites your students are going to get an idea of what's out there and why students are going there. Then, take what you know and apply it to the classroom. You could add in video demonstrations to help students better understand a concept or process, put your personality throughout the course so students feel comfortable coming to you for help, and implement authentic assessments instead of multiple choice quizzes or exams. Utilize the assignment tool, especially with SafeAssign activated. Create essay questions to promote critical thinking and allow for projects where students are actively applying the content to the real world.
So as a quick recap, there is still no miracle cure or foolproof practice for preventing cheating in your classroom. However, there are several simple strategies you can employ to dissuade students from turning in something other than their own work. In addition to the solution we provided in our first episode, these strategies may include using the SafeAssign tool so that both you and your students are alerted to potential plagiarism, whether intentional or accidental, and given the opportunity to address it appropriately. Incorporating honor pledges or policy agreements in areas of the course that may invite cheating to remind students of their obligations and their importance of doing their own work. And finally, explore help sites like Chegg and helpwithhomework.com so that you know what resources are available to potential cheaters in your classroom. Sometimes just letting your students know that you know what's out there is enough to dissuade them from using it. And the resources you find there may even give you a sense of what types of support students are looking for and allow you to build that into your own course.
What's Your Problem wants to hear from you. If you have an idea you'd like us to discuss in a future episode, or if you just want to drop us a line, send us an email or follow us on Twitter.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.
What's your problem? What's your problem? I don't get what your problem is.
Welcome to Schoolcraft. Welcome to college.